You're listening to Don't Miss This on Paris Underground Radio. Hello, and welcome to Don't Miss This, your weekly roundup of the best of what's happening in Paris this week. I'm your host, Jennifer Garrity, the creator and founder of the Paris Underground Radio podcast network, which features podcasts on a wide range of topics that come out 6 days a week and are made for people just like you. Please take a quick moment to subscribe to Don't Miss This if you haven't already, and check out the ParisUndergroundRadio.com website to sign up for our weekly newsletter. This week's edition of Don't Miss This covers the week of Sunday, March 27th through Saturday, April 2nd, 2022. Spring is finally here. The sun is out. Let's spice up our week with cherry blossoms, butterflies, bears, bamboo, and more. Beginning this weekend, Bercy Village is getting into the spirit by adorning itself in 126 colorful butterflies, the symbol of rebirth and transformation we've all been waiting for. These polychrome butterflies are recyclable and biodegradable and will alight from 28 trees in the Coeur Saint-Emilion. They are all made in France from virtuous materials derived from sugarcane and will be on display until June 1st. Women's Day may have come and gone, but Sunday, March 27th will extend the celebration with Le Carnaval des Femmes, or Women's Carnival, also known as the Fête des Blanchisseuses, or Laundresses Festival. This festival is a revival of an old mid-Lent tradition that used to be organized by Parisian laundresses. Every year, the laundresses elected a queen from each laundrette and a queen from the community, and paraded through the streets costumed and joyful. This year, the theme is Ancient Worlds, although you are free to adhere to the theme or not as you see fit. The carnival is free, independent, self-managed, apolitical, non-profit, and non-subsidized. Everyone is welcome, and you do not need to register to participate. Women are invited to dress like queens, and men are invited to dress as women. The 13th edition of the Carnaval des Femmes will be held at Place du Châtelet at 1 p.m., and more information, including route information, can be found at carnival-of-women.org. Brush off your Portuguese because beginning on Tuesday, March 29th, the Festival du Cinéma Brésilien, or the Brazilian Film Festival, is back for its 24th edition. This year, 30 Brazilian films will be screened in the main hall of the Arlequim Cinema, including classics, recent, and unreleased films. In addition, you'll have the chance to partake in meetings with film crews, concerts, and other presentations. The Festival du Cinéma Brésilien will be at the Arlequim Cinema from March 29th through April 5th, and more information, including ticketing and programming, can be found at jaganda.org. That's JANGADA.org. One of my favorite discoveries upon moving to France was how the French describe animal sounds. A French cow will say meuh, of course, but a pig says groin groin, and a rooster cocorico. If knowledge like this also tickles you, you may enjoy the new exhibit at the Maison de la Radio et de la Musique, Pas si bête. The name Pas si bête is a beautiful piece of wordplay, making it difficult to translate, but it basically means not so beasts or not so stupid. Pas si bête will feature graphics and actual sounds from the animal world. You'll discover animal cries, insect noises, stencils, and a radio series that humorously comments on the secret lives of animals. This exhibition is accompanied by workshops that are specially designed for young audiences. Pas si bête will be at the Maison de la Radio et de la Musique from March 30th through September 11th and is free to attend. For more information, please visit Maison de la Radio et de la Musique.fr. That's MaisonDeLaMusique.fr. What's that? More animals, you say? Well, head on over to the Musée de la Chasse et de la Nature because, also beginning on Wednesday, March 30th, is the 4th annual Fête de l'Ours, or Bear Festival. This Parisian festival was initially based on the bear festivals held in 3 villages of the Haute-Valspierre, in the Pyrénées-Orientales. During these festivals, bear men traditionally roamed the village, dressed in sheepskins and smeared with soot and black oil. This year, back in Paris, you'll find a unique cultural program blending tradition and contemporary art with bear-related performances, dances, and film screenings. The Fête de l'Ours will begin at 7:30 p.m. and students from the École du Louvre will meet with visitors to highlight 12 masterpieces chosen from the permanent collection. Then, from 9:30 p.m. to midnight, you'll enjoy a wild DJ set, drink from the Ours Bar, and consume hot dogs from Eat My Truck. The Fête de l'Ours will be in the Musée de la Chasse et de la Nature on Wednesday, March 30th, beginning at 7:30 p.m., and more information can be found at chassenature.org. That's CHASSENATURE.org. April 1st is a Friday, but don't be fooled. There are a number of very interesting events coming to Paris on this day. First, let's head to La Défense, where a giant bamboo pavilion has been erected to house a new exhibit called Aquamater, or Water Mother. Aquamater will highlight 42 shots by Chilean photographer Sebastião Salgado. During his exhaustive quest to photograph the first peoples and landscapes of Amazonia, Iceland, and the Arctic, Sebastião also encountered all states of water and experienced all its fragilities. The Aquamater exhibit will now try to recreate and impress through the experience it offers its visitors. First, it will be housed in a 1,000 square meter bamboo pavilion that is 65 meters long and was designed especially for this occasion by Colombian architect Simón Vélez, who is internationally renowned for creating complex bamboo structures. Dim lighting and a soundtrack created by composer François-Bernard Maché will add to the ambiance, as will thousands of candles in a tropical mist. Aquamater will be in the forecourt of La Défense from Friday, April 1st to September 22nd and cost €11 to attend. Booking a ticket online is recommended and guarantees entry. However, it is possible to buy a ticket on site the same day within the limit of available places. More information can be found at aquamatersebastiaosalgado.art. That's AQUAMATERSEBASTIAOSALGADO.art. Okay, let's jump on line 1 and head to the other end of Paris for the biggest fairground in Europe and the biggest and oldest fair in France, the Foire du Trône. Covering more than 10 hectares, there are no less than 350 attractions, including Ferris wheels, ghost trains, flying chairs, roller coasters, and more. Gourmands can treat themselves to cotton candy, crepes, toffee apples, churros, marshmallows, and other sweet treats. The Foire du Trône will be at the Reuilly-Laon in the 12th arrondissement from April 1st through June 6th, and more information can be found at foiredutrone.com. That's FOIREDUTRONE.com. Are laundress carnivals and bear festivals just a little too sane? How about something mad? Beginning in April, you'll have the chance to head to Wonderland to attend the Mad Hatter's Gin and Tea Party with a white rabbit, a Cheshire cat, and surprising cocktails for a thoroughly immersive experience. Around the world, from London to LA, more than 25,000 people have experienced this crazy Mad Hatter adventure, and now, finally, it comes to Théâtre du Gymnase Maribel in Paris. Don your most colorful outfit, perch one of the crazy hats, provided on site, on your head, take a seat at the dinner table, and prepare yourself for an exuberant and interactive show. You'll taste mouth-watering tea cocktails made with curious and delicious ingredients. You'll start with a small welcome cocktail, then imbibe 2 homemade cocktails, and finally 1 gin and tonic. And of course, non-alcoholic options are available. The Mad Hatter's Gin and Tea Party will be at the Théâtre du Gymnase Maribel beginning on April 1st. The show lasts 90 minutes and tickets are €39. A slight discount is provided for groups of 6 or more. You must be 18 or over with a valid ID, and more information can be found at madhatterginteaparty.com. If champagne is more your speed than Bombay gin, let's head over to the Palais de Tokyo for the free sensory installation Recite Champagne, or Champagne Stories. On the invitation of Champagne House Ruinart, the New York orb of the Palais de Tokyo will become a space entirely dedicated to champagne. Thanks to Danish contemporary artist Hirpa Hein. Through his art, Hirpa designed this participatory exhibition to take us through the conception of champagne to its tasting. Using materials like grapes and wet chalk, Hirpa works to stimulate our five senses by summoning all four elements: earth, water, air, and fire, essential to the production of champagne. While the exhibit is free, the possibility of participating in various activities like a culinary workshop, a talk on art and the environment, and brunch are available for adults only for an additional fee. This exhibition also requires prior online reservation. Recite Champagne will be at the Palais de Tokyo from Friday, April 1st through Sunday, April 3rd, and more information can be found at ruinart.com. That's RUINART.com. Last Friday, I visited the Parc du Sceaux, where the cherry blossoms were decidedly not in bloom. However, from Friday, April 1st through Sunday, April 24th, the departmental domain of Sceaux will celebrate Hanami, the Japanese cherry blossom festival honoring Sakura, Japanese cherry trees, which are symbols of prosperity, the return of spring, and the ephemeral nature of everything. Throughout the month of April, when Japanese cherry trees blossom, the department offers a program of events, including introductions to Japanese ikebana floral art, origami and manga drawing workshops, free visits to discover the cherry trees, or a visit to the Chateau de Sceaux, culminating in the festive weekend of April 16th and 17th. Hanami will take place from April 1st through Sunday the 24th, and more information can be found at o-de-scène.fr. That's HAUTS-DE-SEINE.fr. Is Paris the most romantic city in the world? Host Lily Heisey answers this very question in her podcast, Romancing in Paris, which takes you through the city, arrondissement by arrondissement, by exploring the most romantic and hidden spots Paris has to offer. Listen now to Romancing in Paris on parisundergroundradio.com or wherever you listen to podcasts. We'll be right back with Don't Miss This after a word from our sponsors. And now, back to Don't Miss This. After 5 years of renovations, le Musée Albert Kahn, or the Albert Kahn Museum, will reopen on Saturday, April 2nd, with the unveiling of a new building designed by Japanese architect Kengo Kuma in the midst of its famously enchanting and also newly renovated gardens. This new building is constructed of bamboo, light wood, and metal, and is inspired by Japan, where Albert Kahn lived for many years. Albert Kahn was a banker and philanthropist with a love of art and art collecting. During his travels, he formed a futuristic collection of images and plants that he referred to as his, quote, archives of the planet, end quote. The museum wishes to help democratize culture by educating the public on social issues by and through images. The 4-hectare gardens are comprised of 6 different types: a French garden, a Japanese garden with a tea pavilion, an English garden, a Vosges forest, a blue forest with a central marsh, and a golden forest filled with birch trees. For its reopening, you are invited to travel along a new and immersive permanent route that meanders between interior spaces and gardens through photographic, cinematographic, and plant collections. You'll also find a temporary exhibition, Autour du Monde, la traversée des images d'Albert Kahn à Curiosité, or Around the World, the Crossing of Images, from Albert Kahn to Curiosity, with representations of travel through film and photography from the beginning of the 20th century to today. Le Musée Albert Kahn reopens on April 2nd, and more information can be found at albert-kahn.o-de-scène.fr. That's ALBERT-KAHN.HAUTS-DE-SEINE.fr. Saturday, April 2nd is also World Autism Day, and in France alone, more than 700,000 people have autism spectrum disorders. To mark the occasion, the Canopée des Halles, the Façade de France Télévisions, and the City of Versailles are exhibiting a free photo exhibit called Nous sommes tous différents, or We are all different. You'll discover nearly 100 portraits of people affected by autism in order to make the general public more aware of this disorder. These black and white photographs are designed to evoke a wide range of emotions to highlight the fact that autistic people feel the same feelings as everyone else, and will be on display from April 2nd through the 9th. Speaking of photography, beginning on April 2nd, the 12th edition of the Circulation Photo Festival, a festival dedicated to young photographers, will open in the Sacre Coeur. Wander through a 2,000 square meter exhibit to discover the work of these young international photographers. This year, part of the exhibition will highlight Armenia through photos from 4 native Armenians. If you yourself are a young photographer, you'll have the chance to meet professionals in the field and partake in exhibition-related games. You'll also find a photo studio where you can show off your best poses and hone your own photography skills. The Circulations Photo Festival will be at the Sacre Coeur from April 2nd through May 25th, and more information, including ticketing, can be found at 104.fr. Art, and more art. Saturday, April 2nd also marks the 2nd edition of the Colors Festival, where 66 artists from all over the world will gather together in an abandoned building. This year, the Street Art Festival, organized by Combo, himself a street artist, will take place in a 700 square meter building that once housed stables, a metallurgy factory, and luxury product packaging workshops. Street artists have been given carte blanche to paint the nooks and crannies of the building as they see fit, whether it be with street art, paintings, photography, or some other form of visual art. There is only one constraint. They must all paint with predominantly the same color. Last year's colors were yellow and pink, and rumor has it that this year's color is Majorelle blue, an ultramarine blue inspired by the walls of the Marrakech garden of the painter Jacques Majorelle. Color Festival number 2 will take place at 27 Boulevard Jules Ferry from April 2nd through May 8th. Remember to book in advance, especially to attend one of the live performances that will take place on weekends. More information, including ticketing, can be found at colorsfestival.paris. That's COLORSFESTIVAL.Paris. Okay, we've sensed champagne and sipped tea with gin, so let's end this week's Don't Miss This with Rum Fest, the largest rum fair in Europe with nearly 200 rum brands from all over the world. Treat yourself to an olfactory and gustatory journey around the world, from the Caribbean to the Dominican Republic, via Panama or Colombia. Taste molasses rum, agricultural rums, pure juice, and more. Outside, a 1,500 square meter space will host a food court with several food trucks serving Latin American cuisine. Discover 2 days of masterclasses, tastings, and a Rumfest award, which every year distributes various prizes to the best rums in the world. This year, the art of distillation will be honored, and the best French and international specialists will share all the secrets of distillation with you through conferences and events. Rumfest Paris will be at the Parc Floral de Paris from April 2nd through the 4th, and more information, including how to register for courses and workshops, can be found at rumfestparis.com. That's RUMFESTPARIS.com. Well, that's it for this week's roundup of Don't Miss This. I hope this week treats you well. If you enjoyed this roundup, please tell a friend. If you venture out to any of the events mentioned in this podcast, please let me know and tag Paris Underground Radio on Facebook or Instagram. And if you think you have an event we should know about, please feel free to email me at hello@parisundergroundradio.com with the subject line, Don't Miss This. I'm your host, Jennifer Garrity. You can find me on all socials at Jennyphoria, JENNYPHORIA. Don't Miss This is produced by me for Paris Underground Radio. For more on Don't Miss This and shows like it, please go to parisundergroundradio.com. Thank you so much for listening,
and happy exploring!
Don't Miss This is produced by Jennifer Garrity for Paris Underground Radio. For more on this show and shows like it, please go to parisundergroundradio.com.